from coming in contact with her skin so you can use that cape over and over without washing. Because let's face it, if we have 10 clients on the books, do you really have 10 capes to change and give a new cape for every person? You don't. I mean, I have 2 capes. That's really all I need. And on a Saturday, I do at least 10 people. So basically, I just don't, you know, that's it. At the end of that day, then it goes in the wash because it's full of hairspray. And it's really kind of nasty feeling. All right, so you're going to do, like I said, a layered haircut. However you want to do that layered haircut, as long as it's an even layer haircut. If you want to part off, part off. If you don't want to part off, don't part off. I know it says it, but it's the end result I'm looking at. Okay? I don't ever want you to feel that you have to do something a particular way when you're doing it a way that you know works for you.
Okay.
All right? Now, you will also have to have your razor out. And you will have to use your razor. And I know it's very simple to use the razor. I'm not making you do a razor cut. When I get to the back, I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm going to do just like a layered haircut. I'm going to go right where her recessions are, and I am going to, and dolls really don't have that much of a recession, but that's okay. Make do with what it is.
You don't mind if I record this, do you?
Nope,
Okay, good.
I don't.
Just want to make sure.
So, you're going to have the recessions. You're going to bring it like this, and you're going to cut. You want a point cut, that's great. You don't want a point cut, that's fine too. I personally like point cutting because I will tell you that it blends much better, you know, but it's up to you. So I'm going to come back. It's going to be longer here, shorter in the middle.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm just going to hold and cut. Okay, so that's my first cut. So basically what I've done was it should be shorter here and it goes longer there. Now I'm going to take this next section and I'm going to go to the ear. Right to about the middle of her ear. Sometimes I go a little bit further, sometimes a little less, depending on how much hair they have. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to over direct because I want to keep as much length as I can. So I'm going to over direct like this. Here's the end of it right here. Here's the beginning of it here. Yes, it's not one solid straight line. I realize this, but that's because I point cut. So I'm going to cut that just like that. So therefore it goes down, it goes just like that.
By pulling it forward.
Do the same thing on the other side. Over direction actually saves length. Okay, so for example, if I had just taken this and went just like this and cut down, look how short that would be versus here. Okay, the biggest thing, people with long hair, what do they want?
Keep the length.
They want to keep their
the
long
length.
hair. You know, once you cut that right there, that's it. You're going to have to fix it and it's going to be that short. So you can always cut more off. Once it's gone though, it's gone. It's going to take a long time to grow back, especially if you're cutting this much off somebody with long hair. That's about a year, you know, 9 months. That's like, So here's the middle section. Again, I'm going to bring it like this, and I am going to really go like this. Here's the point, you know, the bottom point of it to the top point, and I'm just going to point cut. Point cutting, be very careful,
Cut yourself.
because you can cut yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Ask Brandy.
That's Sarah. She's got like 3 cuts on her hands.
Me
So
too.
I'm just going to kind of look like this, and it's a little bit longer here. So there's about right. And I never say it is right. I'll say about. Because, you know, you are never going to get hair to be exact all over. You're not. Okay, so now I got the front, and that's perimeter. Now I'm going to go and get the back. I'm going to put her head down. This is where I would pick up my razor for this particular test. And all you have to do is start in the middle, as long as she's even. And you're just going to go like this.
Brandy, Brandy, go ahead, I saw
I just wanna see what.
You did.
So you
Hold
said,
it, and you're cutting above your fingers with a razor.
I'm doing this.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Could I do this whole haircut with a razor?
Yes.
Of course. Could I do it with the clippers? Yes. Anything that cuts, I'll be fine with.
so this a part of the practical, this
Yeah.
is the part you would like us to use the razor
Yeah.
with, going around?
Yeah,
Okay.
just in the back, so I can see that you're using a razor.
Ms. Rodino, I have a question.
Yes.
So when we kind of first started out the layered haircuts, we had to do a like blunt cut pretty much all the way around first. Would you still want us to do that on this particular?
Well,
layered
that's what
haircut?
I just did.
Oh,
That's-
okay. Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
getting this perimeter.
Okay.
That right here just made it blunt. If I don't do anything else to it, that would start would
Okay.
be blunt.
Just okay.
Yeah,
Just different.
because
yeah.
these layers are right there.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
If you have a doll that's short, because you're only gonna be required to cut 1 inch off, all right, as long as there's 1 inch. I realize that some of your dolls are really short back here, because you were doing, a
Yeah.
blunt cut
Yeah.
or a zero. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay.
You can still, even if it's a zero up to here, you can still layer this out,
Okay.
all right?
Okay.
So now, once the perimeter is done, that's it. I'm good to go. So I'm gonna comb the hair back. I'm gonna cut at the parietal ridge. The parietal ridge, basically, I don't have to put my comb here and go, here it is. It goes right where your eyebrows are.
That's perfect, yeah.
So when I'm looking at her in the mirror, and yes, I still go, oh, parietal ridge. So I'm just gonna do the mohawk part, which is the top of her head. You see where that part is right here?
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people, if they want to part this stuff off, fine, part it off. You know, I can't stress enough that whatever makes you feel comfortable when you're cutting hair, you do,
Okay.
all right? I'm gonna hold this up. Now, at this point, you are gonna have a decision to make. If you cut it straight, here's the bangs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because here's where my perimeter was. I can use that. Now, if I cut it this way, where my fingers go up to the crown, it's gonna be shorter in front, and it's gonna be longer at the crown. If I go pretty much straight, it's gonna be pretty even all the way. Or I can take it and do this number, where it's gonna be longer in front, shorter at the crown. If I do this, it's gonna have more bounce at the crown. If I do this, it's gonna have more movement in front.
Okay.
You know, it's gonna be where you can curl it, and it's, you know, shorter hair actually curls better than longer hair,
Mhm.
obviously. It's not gonna pull out. So if you want something that's curled on top and you don't want it to split open, you know, because there are people that wear their hair that way, and you'll go probably straight across. Okay, if you've got somebody that wants kind of like a shaggy sort of look, where it's a little bit longer on top and shorter back through here as far as the layers go, then I actually would go this way. Okay, so it's up to you in that consultation you have beforehand on how she wants her layers, you know, to fall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go up this way, slightly, and I'm gonna just point cut. Now, and I'm not gonna point cut like little, because that's not gonna do anything. So I'm gonna go in like that, point cut. And I'm gonna do that all the way down the mohawk. If I don't pick up all the hair between the parietal ridges, can I go back and get it
Mhm.
second time around? Yeah. So I've got that. That part's done. I'm gonna cut that in half, because this is a traveling guideline. Here's my guideline. See, it's traveling with me. Now I'm gonna break that in half, and I'm gonna go back to the crown. And I'm still going back up this way. Like I said, that's a preference. All right, I'm gonna break it in half again. Now I'm above and below the crown. And I'm not pulling it this way. I'm pulling it straight out. You see how it goes straight out this way? See? Here's my guideline. And yes, that's okay.
I was just gonna ask that if that was okay.
Yeah, because I'm point cutting.
Okay.
I used to be very, very anal when I
Yes.
cut, and everything had to be perfect. That would drove me crazy
Yeah.
back in the day. I found though that being exactly precise leaves a lot of lines in haircuts that you cannot get out unless you go in there and you chop it, and it flows much better. The
Yeah.
hair, the layers, the everything.
Yeah.
So if there is little things like that, don't worry. I'm gonna cut it in half again and work my way down.
It doesn't
Now-
look bad. It just, like you said, your mind kind of wants to keep
Yeah.
cutting it because it's
Right.
not. Yeah, not that
Your
it looks
mind
bad.
wants-
Like, I really
You
wanted
know,
you to cut it.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, and I understand, I mean, I can relate. I learned exactly the way you guys learned because they went through the book.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know, when I layered hair, I thought, oh, look, that's cool. You can see each layer. You know?
Yeah.
No, that's not cool. You know, now,
You don't want
40
it to.
years later, I'm like, that's not cool. You know? It's just the way it is. So I'm taking, and my fingers are gonna go like this because I still have to bring this up this way.
Yeah.
So my fingers are going out this way because I want it to be longer,
And yeah, in the back.
you know, and sometimes when I pick up the next section, see that's, this section, if it was really long hair, sometimes my hands would be way over this way.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go all the way down to here. Okay, you see where this is right there and that is right there?
Mhm.
My fingers are gonna go here, that's gonna drop, and then I'm just gonna go like this. If the hair drops, doesn't need to be cut.
Okay.
So now this whole section is done right here.
Boom.
Oh wow.
You can see the layers in it.
Yes.
Okay. Not that I don't double check. I mean, I can do a haircut and it takes me about 7 minutes to do a haircut, but the rest of the 10 minutes that I'm just kind of
Cleaning
chatting,
up.
making sure, because I feel, you know, if I'm going to pay $35 for a haircut, better take you darn well longer than just 5 minutes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You know, because then I'm going to think you're just kind of rushing through.
Yeah.
So here's that. Now I'm going to go in front, and I'm going to hold it up like that. I'm going to make sure I'm going to cut that in half and go above and below that parietal ridge. And I'm not pulling it up this way because that would make your head square, here and here. Our heads are not square. So we're going to come out this way, and I'm going to cut that point off right there. Then I'm going to break that in half. Okay, see where that is?
Mhm.
That's my guide. My fingers are going to go out this way from here to here to get that hair out in between.
That makes sense.
Now I'm going to go back up, and I'm going to find the other side above and below the parietal ridge. And sometimes it'll be more pointed on one side than the other side, depending on how it comes out of their head. And now I'm going to go this way. See where that point is and that point? Now I'm going to go across the head again. I'm not even worried about that until I get to that point. Now you'll see that this point right here is going to get less and less the further back that you work.
So you go back, forth, back, forth.
Yep. See the point there to here?
Yep.
Cut everything in between. Now I'm going to go back up here. Now I'm going to go above and below on the left side. I'm going to work back right till I get to the crown. You can do the same thing on the other side. So now, this is done, this is done. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna treat this like a clock. Bend your head down a little bit. I'm gonna start at 6 o'clock, break that 6 o'clock in half, go to 5 o'clock, bring it out, go to 4 o'clock, and bring it out to 3 o'clock. Okay, and just be careful that you're not at 5 o'clock, bringing it to 6 o'clock, because then this is gonna be longer right here,
Mm.
okay? So this should be fine, basically, because you've already done this section. But do I double check it? Yes. So here I break that 6 o'clock in half, push it over, and I don't care if you go 7 o'clock or 5 o'clock. It's all gonna work out. So if you like to go this way, fine. If you like to go this way, fine. So now I'm kind of like, see the little pie section?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm kind of going out at 5. I'm gonna cut that in half. Now you can go 5, 5:30, or 6, 5:30, 5, whatever you can handle as far as hair goes. No, I'm right about 3 o'clock right now. 3:30. By 3:35. So, are you seeing the layers?
Yes.
Okay, now I'm gonna go back to 6. And yes, I always waste time picking up hair that I've already cut, but I gotta start someplace. So, I'm gonna go back to 6. Okay, yep. Takes me 2 seconds to do that. I'm gonna break 6 in half, and then do 7, 8, 9.
Do you do like 6 top, 6 bottom? Because I see how like our hands can only pick up so much. So like when you pull that out and then you go below it like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on how much hair you can pick up.
Okay.
I mean, I know when you first start out, you're gonna be very careful and you're gonna pick up smaller sections, and that's fine.
Okay.
I've seen educators do this on stage and they're picking up very small sections. I can guarantee you in a salon, if they're working behind a chair, they're gonna pick up bigger sections because they can. All right? Once you do it for a long time, you will be picking up bigger sections also. And notice how basically, if the hair doesn't, sometimes I don't even pick up the hair on the bottom because I know it's not gonna fit. You know, I just
Yeah.
know.
It's satisfying when you see the hair in between the guidelines, like to cut.
So, to check it, I am just gonna go at 3 and 9. I'm gonna pull it out like that. This side is longer, I can tell right now. So, I can feel that. So I'm gonna go back over there. And that could be longer from this too. It's a little longer there, so just pick it up.
So the mirror is very helpful.
Yes,
I know, I was
it
gonna
is.
say, if you,
I gotta get used to
so if you
using
do
that.
feel a side that's longer, just make sure you
Yeah.
go back through your
Yeah.
sections and.
Yeah, because I'll go by feel and by sight, so that's better. So 3 and 9, then I'll go back here at 4 and 8, pull it out by 4 and 8, and then I'll pull it out by 6. Okay? And then the top would be 12.
Okay.
Okay? And basically, when you're done, and I know you can't do this to people.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do
Yeah,
it.
just can.
I'm like, can you stand on your
Okay, see how
hands,
this goes
please?
this way,
Listen, Linda.
and then this way. And there's your layered cut.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's
So
flat.
when you can, however, have them shake their head and see what the layers are. Okay, so it's
Yeah,
really
that's
pretty
so
easy.
pretty.
It doesn't have to be
And it's
difficult. And I know it's kind of, you know, like somebody says, well, why do you do that? Why do you do mohawk and then side to side and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2? Because it's easy. You know, because it's easy. And you can do any of these layers like this, basically on short or long. If it's long, then your layers are going to start down here, and they're going to end somewhere here. Okay? Shorter, I mean, here's your reference points. You can bridge your nose, tip of your nose, your chin, your chest. Okay? Anything longer than that, then the actual layers are not going to help. Okay, because layers are supposed to lift it so you can have some movement in your hair. If you've got a layer this long, what kind of movement is that going to get you? It won't bring you any movement whatsoever because it's too heavy. So would I go and do that? No. I would not take somebody with really extremely long hair and do that. Now, if I go through this and if I micromanage it, am I going to find something? Probably. But you got to remember, okay, hair does not come out perfect from the head. So from here to here it could be 4 inches, from here to here it could be 3.5 inches, depending on their hairline and everything like that. So don't focus so much on, you know, like if this side is 4 inches, then this side's going to be 4 inches, because it could be like this. You know, your ears are never even either when you look.
Or maybe your shoulders
I
are
mean,
off.
here, your shoulders could be wrong. I mean, the human body is not perfect.
Yeah.
So always kind of figure that out. So any questions on that? No? That's pretty much how I do it. It's worked for years.
All right.